Alright, I am back with another Lost Ark video. I told you I was going to be doing a number of these, at least until things get really crazy with the Witch Queen release and Horizon Forbidden West and all this kind of stuff that I've got to cover in addition to this. I do want to keep playing Lost Ark, although now I have hit kind of a milestone where I finished all of the story components I could. This took me about 40 hours or so. And now I have reached what is the first leg of the Endgame. I just wanted to give some thoughts on this. I kind of talked about the actual mechanics of this in an article I wrote, which is about how to get from item level 302 to 460. And then once you get to 460, you can kind of pick up the story again on a new continent, and then you will eventually run into another wall and have to kind of repeat this process over again. The Endgame of Lost Ark is interesting. It's multifaceted, and this is not like a full exploration of this. I haven't done any like group activities yet, like the Guardian raids or anything, but I have started running Chaos Dungeons in order to fulfill the requirements of this. And it's simultaneously like aspects of this are fun, and yet it does kind of highlight one of my main issues with the game, which is its loot. So Chaos Dungeons are essentially Diablo riffs. I mean, there's no really better way to describe them. There's a little percent bar that you fill up when you kill enemies. It's not like one dungeon per se, but it's like, here's an arena that just constantly spawns enemies in a small space, and then like, here's one where there's mini bosses that spawn, and then you'll also have, you know, swarms of enemies. The enemy volume in these is really dense, but you find yourself probably doing more damage on average, depending on which one you're running, compared to what you were doing in the campaign. So it's not super overwhelming. I think I died once in one of these by accident. And then occasionally you get kind of fun things in the middle where I fought a boss once, which I haven't seen since, that gave me kind of bonus materials. Another was sort of a loot goblin thing where I was transported to a realm with an enemy that just was like a pinata for materials. But most of the time it's just kind of like 3 stages of clearing enemies and mini bosses and bosses. The weird thing is like, so what you're supposed to do here for the end game is upgrade your gear set. And your gear set is a very, very specific list of gear that is pretty much the only thing you can wear at this point and the only thing you can upgrade. You upgrade it by gear honing, and the long and short of gear honing is you farm materials across these endgame activities, Chaos Dungeons and the Cube, which I haven't been into yet, and Guardian Raids, and you upgrade each individual piece 1 level at a time. And each level you upgrade will upgrade your item level by 20. So I started at 302, and then by the end of yesterday, with all the materials I had saved already, I got to 400. I'm trying to get to 460, but as you go up, you can also go down further tiers of Chaos Dungeons, which are, I think, more rewarding when you do them. It's kind of a weird system where you have some sort of like recharging energy thing that I think resets once a day, where you can do 2 Chaos Dungeon runs that will get you a good amount of endgame materials. So like one run here got me enough to do 2 more levels of upgrading my set. So that was one run. But after that, every subsequent run you do will get you kind of a transition material that you can trade for a weekly capped amount of materials total, which is not, it's less than you would get just from running it, you know, twice every day, but, you know, it's not nothing, and it takes a good amount of runs to hit those caps. So if you want to just keep grinding, you can grind, it's just less efficient. The weird part of this to me is that, like, you're not really chasing loot in the traditional sense. Like, once you get this set, like, it is rare you're going to want to change out a piece for another slightly variant piece with slightly different stats. Like, you are not chasing like rolls of anything in the traditional sense, from what I can understand. You can get random drops of like epic jewelry that has kind of different automatic inscription perks ingrained on them, so you can kind of go for different versions of that. But at this lower level, it's not really the most important thing in terms of the stuff you're getting there, because you know you're just going to replace it all in, you know, another 40 power levels. Because once you get to power level, I think 420, then you can start getting legendary jewelry drops that will be power level 420, and you won't use any of this stuff again. So, like, combat is fun, and the honing process is pretty straightforward, and like it's at least something I understand. And that is more than I can say for things like the inscription process, which I am 50 hours into this game, and I still don't really understand how Inscription works. I don't get it. I need to watch a whole bunch more tutorial videos on this because like I get aspects of it, and yet I have been saving all these like Inscription books and things because like I don't know what to invest in, and like I don't want to invest in the wrong thing, and like the Inscription perks I've unlocked, I don't fully like kind of know what to do with them or how to activate all of them. It's very confusing, but the honing process at least is pretty straightforward to get you to the next level. It's just that it is a very, very different kind of hard switch between all of the story campaign stuff you were doing and then this. And once you hit level 50, XP gain kind of slows to a crawl. I think I need 48 million or something XP to get the next level, and through the entire story campaign, all of the side missions I've done, I'm like 40% of the way to 51. I think the ultimate cap is 50. And that's the only way you get kind of new skill points to upgrade your skills further. So that's a little weird. It's just like, and these endgame activities are not, at least Chaos Dungeons are not giving me like actual XP. I'm doing like stuff there. I'm doing daily quests and things. I'm doing Stronghold stuff, but that's all giving me like Stronghold XP or roster XP. Like I'm not getting any more character XP, and I don't think I will get any more until I go and pick up the story again. I'm pretty sure. So that's a little odd. So this feels just like a little bit of artificial gating in like a not super fun way. I get that maybe this made more sense when, you know, the power cap was raised or these new continents were added in expansions before, because, you know, people at that point who were playing in Russia or Korea or whatever had probably hit the caps and were just kind of sitting around doing nothing. So this was sort of like, you know, a Destiny light level grind to a certain extent. But I would say at least when you're grinding for stuff in Destiny, you have the chance to get like, oh, like look at this sick weapon roll I got, or look at the crazy stats in this armor. But that just doesn't happen here. Like the loot is a really, really kind of secondary focus for all of the gameplay I've experienced so far in this game. And that's not like, you know, this isn't to say I haven't had fun and stuff. It's just kind of strange given how much else this game gets right, and then gear just being kind of an afterthought, and just more or less every piece of gear is just like a stat stick. And maybe this changes like in the ultra end game, but like judging by how these gear sets look and feel so far, like it doesn't really seem like that's going to be the case, and it might not change that much. So I'm kind of wondering if gear ever gets more interesting here. But fortunately, like kind of the other stuff in combat and build crafting and like different aspects of this are still engaging. It's just that you're not really getting that like, oh my god, like look at that sweet drop feel that you would think this kind of game would give you, especially because, you know, its roots are in Diablo, and that's such a core part of that game and this entire kind of genre in general. And even, you know, MMOs, it's you know, still a big thing. Again, maybe once you get to crazy ultra endgame stuff, there are like the sickest drops that you're farming for and that are super rare and things. It's just I've seen none of that to this point. I have just gotten gear that is a kind of automatic, you know, turn your brain off replacement if the little up arrow says it's more powerful. And then now this gear grind is just grind out these currencies and go to this vendor and upgrade your stuff. And that's like really all you can do. So I don't love that aspect of it. I want to play some of the other endgame stuff to kind of better judge things. I may have to like assemble an actual group of people. I'm not sure how much if everything is matchmaking or not. But we'll see. I'm probably going to start a second character soon and do the level 50 boost thing, so I don't have to play 40 hours of story again. I think I might do a bard, just because there's like no bard classes in a lot of games. I just think it's kind of an interesting idea rather than like an archer or a, you know, berserker or whatever. So we'll see. But I am having fun with it. It's just the end game is struck me as a little odd. The Chaos Dungeons themselves are fun. It's just the gear, there is no gear grind. It's materials grinds, and then if you get bored of that, you can just kind of go and explore areas you've missed. And I've run a lot of kind of random side quests, and I've been doing rapport stuff a little bit to kind of expand beyond just the Chaos Dungeons. But it's a little bit of a strange system, and from what I can tell, it's going to be kind of doing this one time, but then you also have to do this 2 more times to hit 2 future caps and unlock things. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, those are my initial thoughts here, and I'm curious to hear how far you guys are. And because I just started playing a live launch here, this is not my PTS build that carried over. That all got deleted. So I am live here, and I have been pretty much doing nothing but playing this. That is about to stop probably when Horizon gets here at the end of the week. but we will see how far I can get before that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.